Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we're going to wrap up this week of movies that star musicians with the iconic Prince in Purple Rain, also starring Apollonia, Morris Day, Jerome Benton, The Time, Clarence Williams III, Wendy and Lisa, The Revolution, and the rest of Apollonia 6. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, today we're going to wrap up our week of movies that star musicians, and we're going to discuss the icon Prince in Purple Rain. And as our movie opens, the kid is a talented but troubled frontman of his Minneapolis, Minnesota-based band, The Revolution, in order to escape his difficult home life, since his father both verbally and physically abuses him and his mother. He spends his days and nights either rehearsing or performing at the First Avenue nightclub. Now, The Revolution, the flashy Morris Day and his group The Time, and Des Dickerson and his group The Modernaires hold the nightclub's 3 house band slots. Morris, aware that the Revolution's guitarist, Wendy, and keyboardist, Lisa, are frustrated that the kid is unwilling to play their compositions, lobbies Billy Sparks, the club's owner, to replace the Revolution with the girl group which Morris is already forming. He targets the girlfriend of the kid, Apollonia, an aspiring singer and new arrival to the Minneapolis area, to lead his group, and he tries to persuade her that the kid is too self-centered to help her. She eventually joins Morris's group, which she names Apollonia 6. Now, when she reveals her newfound partnership to the kid, he becomes furious and slaps her, just as his father had struck him earlier. Back at the club, the kid responds to the eternal band strife, the pressure to draw bigger crowds, and his strained private life with the uncomfortably personal darling Nikki. His performance publicly humiliates Apollonia, who runs off in tears and angers both Morris and Billy, just worsening his situation. Billy confronts the kid, chastising him for bringing his personal life to the stage, and warns him that he is wasting his musical talent just as his father did. Apollonia 6 has a successful debut, and Billy warns the kid that his slot is now at risk. The kid seizes Apollonia from a drunken Morris, and the two argue and fight, causing Apollonia to abandon him. When the kid returns home, he finds the house in tatters, with his mother nowhere to be found. When he turns on the basement light, his father, who had been lurking in the basement with a loaded handgun, shoots himself in the head. Frenzied after a night of torment, the kid tears apart the basement in order to release his frustration, only to find a large box of his father's musical compositions. The next morning, the kid picks up a cassette tape of one of Wendy and Lisa's compositions, a rhythm track simply named Slow Groove, and he begins to compose lyrics to it. That night at First Avenue, all is quiet in the Revolution's dressing room until the Time stops by to taunt and torment the kid about his family life. Once on stage, the kid announces that he will be playing a song that the girls in the band wrote, dedicated to his father, which is revealed to be Purple Rain. As the emotional song ends, the kid rushes from the stage and out the back door of the club, intending to ride away on his motorcycle. However, before he can mount it, he realizes that his new song has thrilled the crowd. The kid returns to the club with his fellow musicians greeting him with approval and a teary-eyed Apollonia embracing him. The kid returns to the stage for 2 encores with the revolution to the wild approval of both the crowd and even Morris Day. As a montage of all the songs play, overlaid scenes show the kid visiting his father and mother in the hospital and sorting through his father's compositions in the basement, all accompanied by Apollonia as our movie comes to its close. I know some of you guys may not believe this, but watching this movie to review it for you guys today, it's the first time I've ever seen Purple Rain. I enjoyed some of Prince's music growing up and in my younger years, but it was always, are you Team Michael or Team Prince? And I always tended to be Team Michael. You know, both men had their controversies. Both men were weird in certain ways. But I always found Michael's music, at least personally, better than most of Prince's. Again, not to say he didn't have great songs. A lot of them featured here in this movie. You know, Let's Go Crazy, Darling Nikki, Purple Rain, When Doves Cry. And then outside of this movie, he has stuff like 1999, Raspberry Beret. You know, he did songs for the Batman soundtrack. He had a couple other movies, Under the Cherry Moon and Graffiti Bridge. You know, even in the 2000s, he had a little bit of a resurgence with an album that I really enjoyed called Musicology. So he did have some great songs. I just always felt Michael was superior, personally. What do you guys think? Debate it in the chat. Prince or Michael? So this is the first time sitting down and watching it, and I had heard rave things about it from critics, from friends. But for whatever reason, it just kind of always escaped my vision. Maybe it was something I saw, you know, on the sidelines here in the peripheral, but I never watched it. I never sat down, never focused. All I had ever seen of it were whatever scenes were cut up and thrown into his music videos from the album. So it was an experience, and I enjoyed it. It's another one of those movies that I kind of regret not having seen sooner because it was really good. It was a lot better than I expected it to be. It had a good story, somewhat autobiographical. It had a great cast of characters. Morris Day in the Time, you know, Jungle Love, great song. It was just a really fun movie to sit back and take in, which a lot of these movies this month for the musicians have been just kind of fun to take in. And I, as a result, thoroughly enjoyed it. So much so that when it comes to my rating for this film, my rating for Purple Rain, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. And had I seen this movie when I was younger, had it been more embedded in my life, this might even be a 5-star film. It was just that entertaining. Like I said, it was a simple, good story, somewhat autobiographical. Prince did amazing. Apollonia did great. Morris Day and Jerome did good. Clarence Williams III from the Mod Squad did a great job as Prince's father in the movie. The music was amazing. I mean, Purple Rain is one of the best-selling albums of all time. Right up there with like Thriller and the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper and stuff. You know, it's up there in the greatest selling albums of all time for a good reason. And this movie just adds to and proves why that is the case. 4 out of 5 stars for me, like I said, when it comes to Purple Rain. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. And let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And it's new release Saturday. We're going to be going back to the multiplex and taking a look at John Wick Chapter 4, starring Keanu Reeves, Donnie Yen, Bill Skarsgård, Lawrence Fishburne, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, Hiroyuki Sanada, and Shamir Anderson. And then, later on in the evening, both right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, it'll be time once again for the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. Myself, I believe Jeff Meacham will be there, the Simple Man Noah Foster, the Heat Man James Hebert, and whoever else in the multiverse of media decides that they want to come through the doors and step up to the microphone and engage in the week of professional wrestling. We'll all be there to just have a good time. And then on Sunday, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, it'll be time once again to step into the war zone. That's right, it'll be time for another edition of the Weekly Acquisition Report, the show where I, the Renegade, show you, the viewers, the latest additions to my ever-growing movie library. And I've got a lot of stuff to show you over the next few weeks, as Dollar Tree is clearing their movies out for 50 cents a pop. So I've picked up a ton of stuff here lately. Gonna chop it up into about 5 weeks of content. Dollar Tree DVDs, Sunday on the Warzone. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. John Wick Chapter 4, Open Mic Night, the Warzone, and we still have 2 more weeks of movies that star musicians to bring to you right here on Renegades Reviews. As I said, you don't want to miss any of it, so make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Stat Boys Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Prince, fans of Apollonia, fans of Morris Day and the Time, fans of Clarence Williams III, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content, this video right here, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to keep my visibility in YouTube's algorithms now that we are a monetized channel. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me, tuned in today, and that helped me get there to that milestone to where we are a monetized platform. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.